What is up, friends? Welcome to Dare You to Podcast, the only Switchfoot podcast that might last one episode. We'll see how it goes. My name is Zach, and I'm here with my friend Chase, and we are just two very big Switchfoot fans. And the whole idea for this conversation came out of me being like, hey man, I just really need somebody to talk about this with, and what if we just recorded it and see what happens? Because Switchfoot dropped a new album, Forever Now. It's great, and we're going to talk about it, dissect it. But Chase, can you give us your best Wake Up Mr. Crow impression this morning as we're recording at 9:30 a.m. on a Friday?
Wake up, Mr. Crow.
Yes.
That is the we don't know if we really want him to wake up version or not.
Yes.
Just try gently first.
We definitely know we don't want your baby to wake up. So,
True. Yeah.
So we'll take what we can get here.
Mr. Crow can wake up. Baby
yes.
can sleep for a little longer.
Baby can sleep. Yeah. So, Chase and I have been in a group chat for going on like 10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty close to it.
Has to be, because it goes all the way back at least to Spider-Man Homecoming in theaters.
Well, it goes back even further than that, because I remember Switchfoot core memory. I was going to see the Switchfoot Reliant K tour.
Oh gosh.
And was texting you and Jared about it.
Okay.
Because one, I went to that twice. The second time I went was on Valentine's Day 2017, when Reliant K played Candy Hearts live
in Knoxville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it goes back even further than Spider-Man Homecoming, but the MCU was definitely the reason, I think, for the initial
I think so.
The initial podcast or the initial group chat getting going. So yeah, we've been talking about Switchfoot in group chat settings for about 10 years, and
wow, that's awesome.
We first met at a Reliant K show like 4 years ago in Cincinnati, I believe, which is fun. And then you came out and did your worship band at the time, played at this youth thing that I was doing, and that was really fun. And so it's been cool to see our paths cross over the years.
Yeah, man.
But excited to talk about Switchfoot this morning. Okay, tell me a little bit your history of Switchfoot and what that looked like for you before we like really jump into the album stuff.
Heck yeah. So it was around 2003 or 4. The Beautiful Letdown had just come out.
Yes. And how old were you in 2003?
I was 7 years old.
Okay.
My uncle was a youth pastor, and he was the guy who was like the plug for cool Christian music. And as a lot of people were doing at that time, is like Switchfoot is like the music you gotta have. You know, it's like, oh man, you gotta hear this band.
Absolutely.
So they were obviously a few albums deep by that point. That's kind of when they really took off in the mainstream eye. But so my uncle put my brother on the Switchfoot. He's the older one, and then my brother kind of was like, "Here, you can borrow this CD," and then that was it. So and then I remember like kind of the big, like a big like major milestone was a little bit after that. I think it came out the next year, 2004. They cut like their live in San Diego performance on DVD, and I remember going to Hastings, which is a company that I don't think exists anymore. Hastings in Richmond, Kentucky, and picked up a copy of Switchfoot live in San Diego, and it was like, holding it like my most prized possession at that point. So that was 2004. So back around then, that was kind of when I got started. So I can't claim I liked them or knew them before the Beautiful Letdown, but I was also 6 years old. So
yeah, no, that's great. And you've been to a lot of Switchfoot shows in your life. Would you say Switchfoot is your favorite band, or is that a contested number one spot right now?
I mean, all time, like, I think I would say probably Switchfoot. I think I've given more time to Switchfoot than probably any other band. There's other bands that will come and go that I'll listen to more, like on a given day.
That might get brought up in this podcast at some point. We'll see.
Okay. We'll see. And then like old stuff. Like I did a deep dive into the Beatles a few years
Oh,
ago, and
that's
I've
cool.
just kind of been a nerd
Yeah,
since then. So like the Beatles and Bob Dylan and some of those guys that have been around forever,
yeah,
those are way up there. But I think for me personally, which I think we'll also get here later, but Switchfoot, they're probably tops.
yeah, yeah. Um, my story is similar to yours in the sense, hey, nice. In the sense that I had a cool youth pastor in my life who showed me Switchfoot. I'm sure there are so many people who that's probably their story. The cool youth pastor in my life was my dad at that point in time,
Yeah.
who, just like your uncle, was like the plug for all the cool Christian music. And even bands that he wasn't like super into, he like showed me and allowed me to get super into. So like Riot K, for example, was probably like for him, not quite hitting in his stage of life and like not exactly, but like I gravitated towards Reliant K so fast, and like he's the one who showed me them. And
Mhm.
Switchfoot have so many fond memories of just like driving around in parking lots and listening to the Beautiful Letdown, and
Yeah.
a lot of nostalgia um for that album in particular. Um, and I think my dad may have gotten in on them on Learning to Breathe, actually, the album before.
Nice.
Um, and because I can just picture that album cover from my childhood very, very vividly.
Yeah.
Um,
Incredible.
and then yeah, so then it kind of just started this lifelong thing. My childhood best friend and I were super into Switchfoot. Um, especially like I know it's kind of an album that's on the lower end of most people's like tier rankings or whatever, but like when Oh Gravity came out, like I watched the crap out of those music videos,
Oh,
and
those videos were incredible.
and just really like fell head over heels. And I would say, like, if you were to ask me like who my favorite band is, it's always an answer. I think that's changing, but I think when I pressed play 2 weeks ago on Forever Now for the first time, I don't think I realized how much this band actually means to me until the opening riff on Wake Up Mr. Crow, and I was just like so in and so
Yeah.
um captivated by the whole thing that I was like, oh yeah, this is one of them ones, one of those bands
Yeah, man.
that's like it's way up there.
Well,
And
dude, because like talking about, I mean, it's we've both, I guess, been listening to them for 20 years and some change now, and to have a band that's been around like in such crucial
yeah,
stages of life,
yeah,
and then now they're still dropping new music. That
yeah.
doesn't happen a
No,
lot.
it doesn't.
So,
A lot of my favorite bands that I still liked when I was in my youth are now gone. So
right.
Mute Math is gone.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
rest in peace. And even Need to Breathe has really changed a lot of band members, and there's some stuff going
Hmm.
on there, and it doesn't quite feel the same anymore. And to have
Yeah.
Switchfoot, that obviously Drew's stepped away, and Boaz is kind of in the picture now, but like for the most part, like is been the same band for 30 years in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, and it's
Yeah.
been always evolving, and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah,
um
man.
all right, man, let's jump into Forever Now. I told you offline before we hit record, that this is an album that I have just been yearning to talk to somebody about for the last couple weeks, in like a really in-depth way. Um, it's been cool to see like my wife has really gotten into this record and has really enjoyed listening to it as well. And she's had a lot of different ideas and thoughts, and it's been really fun to talk about it with her. Um, and I think probably my favorite part is, since this album has come out, I've had more people text me about Switchfoot than I think I've ever had in my life. Like, people from like friends from my childhood, friends I went to college with. I'm a youth pastor, and one of my student leaders reached out, and was like, "Oh, this album is so good," and so it's been fun to just like. It feels like this album has really taken over, just in the fan base, obviously, but also like an extended reach that I don't
Hmm.
think their previous few have in a way. Um, and I
I
think there's
agree.
a whole lot of reasons for that. But yeah, I've just been so excited. It feels like this is just an album I've wanted to talk about for the last 2 weeks in a very in-depth way. So thanks for saying yes to this. And you're the only person I could think of that I
Oh,
was like would go all in with me in this way. So, um,
I'm all in, dude.
so yeah, immediately want to hear first impression. of this album. You hit play 2 weeks ago. You've got it. I am actually in the Forever Now box.
Yes,
So
you got the
I
VIP
got the
like
VIP
access,
experience.
man. Yeah, absolutely.
uh, but yeah, what were your first impressions a couple weeks ago? And yeah, would love to hear maybe the setting you found yourself listening to it for the first time and
Yeah.
those kinds of things.
So, first impression, and I will drop this as kind of like my immediate hot take,
I
because I
love
don't
it.
think I have a lot of hot takes
I
about
love
this
it.
album, but I think this is one that definitely comes. Um, this is not the album that I wanted from them this
Oh,
year,
okay.
but I think it is the album that I needed, that
Uh-huh.
we all needed. So I'll explain that real fast.
Yeah.
More or less, without getting too deep and long and personal, the past couple of years of life have been some of the more challenging years of my
Mhm.
life. So Switchfoot's music has been with me through that. Of course,
Yeah.
they've got all kinds of songs for that kind of season, and John Foreman too. His
Yeah.
solo stuff
Absolutely.
is ridiculous. Um, but this year, it's kind of been like a glow up year for me in a lot of ways in my life. Like I feel like I'm on the upswing, so a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff's been happening this year. So I think I like part of me wanted like almost like another Fading West kind of album that was just kind of like
Yeah.
happy go
Yeah.
lucky, like summer and here comes the sun and stuff like that. So I knew that wasn't what this album was going to be, but
Sure.
part of me, I wanted I wanted Beautiful Life 12 times.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that's not what they did,
Mhm.
because, and we can talk even more about the meaning in a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think you literally, I've been like copying and pasting the text you sent in the group chat to sum up like the album
Mm.
and Mr. Crow, because I think you worded it so perfectly. And let me see if I can go find the message here in a second. But you said like it makes us have to come to terms with our mortality
Yeah.
and let it impact the way we live. I misquoted you a little bit. You said
Let
it
me see.
better.
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
got it in front
But
of me here.
just that thought, like, it's been so poignant to be like, you know, whatever season of life it is, the hard
Yeah.
ones are the good ones. So my first impression of the album was I kind of wish it wasn't as heavy
Yeah.
or like as serious and at times dark.
Yeah.
But after like the second listen, I realized I was like, no, this is exactly like
Mm.
what needed to happen this year.
Yeah.
For me personally, but also for anyone who listens. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my first impression. That um, I've had so many impressions since then, but
Yeah.
that was kind of where it hit me initially.
Yeah. So my text, which was sent on Saturday or Sunday, June 28th, so a couple days after the record had came out, I said, my takeaway is that we are all Mr. Crow, and the album is a call to us to embrace mortality and death, and then to let it change how we live.
Beautifully said. Perfect.
Man, I was
They need
I had
they
I
need
had
to
some
put that
bars
on
on
their
June
website.
28th.
That's right.
I was cooking on
Sell
June
that to the
28th.
band. You were, man. Come on.
Um, that's really cool. I first impression for me, I love the way you put that. Not the album that I thought I wanted, but it ended up being the one I needed. To be honest, I as much as I like Interrobang and Native Tongue to a degree, and when I was in high school, Where the Light Shines Through really resonated with me. And as much as I like their last few records, um, there was just this feeling that of for me of like there's always a couple standouts, but the album on the whole hasn't
Mhm.
quite clicked with me. And that's been like the last couple. Um, and so to get an album for me that felt cohesive, and I do think Interrobang and these last couple records are cohesive in their own way, um, but is an experience straight through that kind of wrecked me, to be honest. Getting a little personal, like I struggle sometimes with anxiety about the future and my health and all these sort of things, and so to have an album that like directly like put that in front of my face and said
Yeah.
like actually no, like lean into this, and yes, you are going to die, and that's okay. And
We're getting old, man.
I know the memento mori thing that John's been like kind of referring to.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, yeah, it really wrecked me. My first listen through, I cried like 4 times, like just like I was just I was a mess like throughout the whole thing. And so
Yeah.
I really love this. We'll get into like where it like ranks within their discography, kind of like towards the end. Um, I just, yeah, I really love this record. And pretty much all the way through. We'll have a category later where we talk about the songs we love the most, songs we cut, all that sort of stuff. Um, but I think on the whole, I just really love this record. I would say I've probably listened to it in full, front to back, including live streams, including car rides, including
Mhm.
like all that sort of stuff, like close to 20 to 30 times by now, like all
Wow.
the way through. So like
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I've been really
incredible.
living with this for the last couple weeks. And I'm excited to kind of jump in, kind of track by track. But for you, I kind of got into it a little bit, but for you, where does this, after your first couple listens, where did it sit for you, like among their most recent records, like Interrobang and Native Tongue
Yeah.
um, and to be clear, I do like those records a lot as well.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I heard the is it Beloved or Beloved? I can never remember how to say it.
I say beloved. I don't
I do
know.
too.
I've never
That
really
was what I
heard
was, and
them.
then I went to
I
say it
think
out
that's what
loud,
they
and I
go
was like,
with.
wait, is that wrong? I've never heard anyone say it out loud.
Yeah. The song doesn't say the title,
Yes,
but I'm with you. Unless you were about to say the opposite, but I think that song alone makes me glad Interrobang
no,
exists. Like
100%.
that song's
I heard it. I
so
was
good.
watching the Caves live stream on Veeps last night, getting ready for this, and they opened with "Beloved," and I about wept. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
"This song's incredible." Um, and
Yeah,
so
man.
yeah, so where does after your first couple listens of Forever Now, where did it start to maybe compare to the last couple records that they had done,
Yeah.
and Terabang, Native Tongue, etc.
So, I think for me, a lot of times, like with bands that I love like this, like I hyperfixate. I'm just that kind of person.
Yes,
So a lot of times I can probably be blinded by love.
yeah,
So like when Switchfoot drops an album, they could probably record like the garbage disposal,
sure,
you know, getting rid of Chinese takeout, and I would probably enjoy it
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's Switchfoot.
yeah,
But like for this one, I definitely think it like kind of feels like okay, yeah, Switchfoot, they've really still got it.
hmm,
Because, like you said, the last few albums, like I've enjoyed them, like I've gone all in on them.
yep,
Like I have the signed copy of Interrobang hanging up on my wall
yep,
in a different room. And but this one really did feel kind of like I don't want to say kind of like that they made a comeback to their roots necessarily, or like that they're back to being good like they once were in a way.
yep,
I almost want to say like they kind of have been doing like side quests and like
hmm,
experimenting with different stuff, just because they can, like
yeah,
just because they have the capability, they're good enough musically to try all these things, and obviously they got to pay the bills, they got to worry about their families and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think they give a rip whether or not their album sales are up or down.
yeah,
I feel like, most of their money's going to come from touring and everything anyway.
yeah,
And a lot of people are, it's the same people are going to come see him on tour
yep,
regardless of if they like the album or not. And I've
yeah,
seen that happen in real time.
yes,
But we might have to do a whole other episode about Interrobang or some of these past albums because, like, I feel like this album coming out, so many Switchfoot fans have kind of been clutching to it. Like, this is their best album in so long,
yeah,
maybe my favorite album from them, and that's brought up a lot of discourse about the past few albums and
yes,
about Interrobang. And that same as you, I was kind of like just monologuing to my wife the other day about that record and about why I think that one is so weird.
yes.
Not let me say
Not weird
it
in a
and
bad
find a
way.
better way.
Yeah.
Unique.
Yes.
There that album's kind of an outlier in a lot of ways. I won't get into it. Maybe we'll save that. Maybe that's
Well,
what we talk
it
about
brings
next
up a
time.
good
But
conversation though, just
yeah,
about like one of the things that's been driving me kind of crazy about the discourse around this album is this idea that like Switchfoot like rediscovered themselves
right.
or like oh, it's good again as if it wasn't good at like any other point.
Yeah,
And like I yeah, so it's just been driving me crazy a little bit that like oh my gosh, this sounds so much like the Switchfoot I used to love. But I'm
yeah,
like No, for this sounds like the Switchfoot I've loved all along. Like
Hmm.
this is such a Switchfoot record, just the same way. Even though Interrobang is unique and quirky and all of that sort
Hmm.
of stuff, like that is still Switchfoot, just as much as
Yeah.
Native Tongue is still Switchfoot.
Yeah.
And so yes, I think sonically this does maybe harken back to Nothing Is Sound, vice versa. We'll talk about some of the influences and things that the band is calling back to that are really interesting throughout this record. Um, but I don't think Switchfoot ever left, man. Like,
Right.
and so it's
Yeah,
just like
man.
this. I've just seen so much of this, like, Switchfoot is back. It sounds so
Yeah.
much like my childhood, like all this sort of things. And yeah, it
Yeah.
in a way it does. The sound they're going for is calling back to a time, but also, um, Switchfoot in 2003 couldn't have made this record. Like that. That's
Mm.
just like
Oh, wow. That's a bar.
yeah, yes, yeah. And
True,
so
dude. True.
it just is sonically, yeah, there's some interesting callbacks and things they're doing. But I do think this is an evolution of Switchfoot that we haven't seen
Yeah.
before in a lot of ways. Um and yeah, it just yeah. So that's part of the
Yeah.
discourse I've seen that I've been kind of like bumping up against a little bit. I've
Yeah.
spent a lot of time on the Switchfoot Reddit, which maybe I shouldn't be doing. Um but it's been so fun to just like chime in with people. Like
Yeah.
there's a whole mega thread on the whole album. It's been fun to see
Oh, that's cool.
people's
I need to
thoughts
hop
on
on
each
there.
song and
I've been doing like the boomer version of that. I've been really on the Facebook
oh
like
nice.
fan page a lot,
Yeah,
and
nice.
there's a group. Are you in that group?
I don't think
Like
so.
the Switchfoot slash John Foreman fans Facebook group. There's a couple thousand in there at least. I haven't checked, but there's a lot of people. But yeah, there's been a lot of discourse. Everyone has been like putting like their album like their tier rankings
Yeah.
of all the Switchfoot albums, and so it's brought up a lot of like some negativity, and then even like calling all the way back to Fading West. Like I've seen a lot of people bringing up a lot of hate for Fading West, and I'm like, listen, I'll fight you over Fading
Yeah,
West,
yeah, yeah.
okay? I know
Yeah.
that's another
That's great.
outlier for them sonically, but we don't disrespect Fading West.
Yes. No, absolutely.
But yeah, dude, no, I'm 100% with you. And the thing about it is, like, I mean, you got to look at like the career that they have. They, a long spanning career. And then John Foreman, who, like, like, dude apparently writes like 200 songs a year and just
Yeah,
throws half of them away. He has a solo project where he has released, I think he's got like almost 100 solo songs out. Um,
yeah,
multiple full length LPs, multiple like EP sets that total into like, so I think like 24 songs on the first set of EPs, 25 on the second set,
yep,
then a 12-track album and another 12-track album.
yep.
So maybe that's not anywhere close to 100, but it's still like it's a
It's a
lot of
lot.
solo songs. And then he's got Fiction Family stuff.
Yep.
He writes songs for other artists. So like they're constantly making music, and like I won't name drop any of the bands that I'm thinking of, but there's some bands out there in the Christian sphere and in the non-Christian sphere that have been around for a long time that have been making the same song for
For a long time,
decades
yeah.
and releasing it every
Long
2
time.
years, 12 versions of it. And I think sometimes, like I think, no disrespect, but I think a lot of maybe Switchfoot fans just kind of want them to make Dark Horses
Sure.
12 times a year and put it on an album.
Yeah.
And that's fine, Dark Horses is a great song. I
Yeah.
like even on Vice Versa specifically, like Dark Horses and Afterlife are kind of like two sides of the same coin, at
Yep.
least sonically, I think. So I think some people just kind of want those two repackaged over and over. Um, so yeah, it's gonna feel a little bit different when Switchfoot tries something that they aren't normally trying, but like I think it just showcases a lot of their creativity too. Their bravery that they're willing to try that,
Yeah.
probably going into a lot of these records knowing, yeah, this isn't gonna be received as well as
Yeah.
Vice Versus or Nothing Is Sound was, but like they're like, we're gonna do it because they feel like it's what they need to do, the message they need to come across, and they want to try to go about it creatively. And so I think it's really cool that you mentioned this, how like a lot of people have been saying like Switchfoot has gone back to their roots on this record in a way. Like you said, sonically, I think they did kind of try to pull from a little bit of like that late 90s early 2000s nostalgia, um a little bit to inspire some of the guitar riffs and just some of the guitar tones even.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think melodically a lot of this I think they've snuck a lot through, like, under the Trojan horse of saying, "Yeah, it's electric guitar driven," um, like the old days,
Yeah.
because, like, I think melodically, especially, like, the verses, a lot of the lyrics in the verse, I think, have, like, really, like, modern, like,
Yes.
melodies.
Yes.
Like, in Beautiful Life specifically, the first time I heard that, like, it's like, "I've been swimming in
Uh-huh.
a cloud,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah." Like,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. So, I think I
Yeah.
got those words wrong, I mixed them up,
No,
but
no, no.
it's
That's
okay. But,
no,
yeah,
that's
so,
good.
like, I think they've kind of really merged a lot of cool stuff in here
Yep.
under the guise of, this is kinda like a throwback sounding album, which in a way it is, but in a way it also isn't. So, I think that's cool how they
Yeah.
pulled that off. I don't know how they did that.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of really good observations there. I think I was listening to their appearance on the Jonas Brothers podcast. I don't know if you've checked that out or not.
I've seen, like, the clips they've shared, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so interesting overlap of interest for me. I'm also a weirdly a huge Jonas Brothers guy. Have been
Oh,
like
dude, same,
my whole
same.
life.
Yeah,
And so it's been really cool to see the way that the Jonas Brothers have really given Switchfoot a platform. Uh, on tour, they were the only guests they brought out like multiple times, which is kind of
mhm,
crazy on their last tour. Um, they obviously did the Beautiful Letdown Deluxe and did their own version of the Beautiful Letdown the song. Um,
right, which was really cool.
really really cool. And they had him on this podcast recently, and they were talking about the album, and John said we wanted to make an album that only Switchfoot could make. And to your point about like how they've really been driven by their influences over the last handful of records. How everyone is kind of has a different sound to it, and Interrobang especially feels like they are grasping at a lot of different interests and influences. Um, and this album, they're like, we just want to make a Switchfoot record and make a record that only Switchfoot could make, which I thought was a really interesting point of conversation. And they are just so they well, John just writes so much. I was listening to every once in a while there'll be an Instagram reel with an artist that will just like name drop like, yeah, I was at this recording session and John Foreman was there and he like showed me this song. And
Right,
it's
yeah,
just like it's happened like 4 times in the last like 6 months that
yeah.
I've seen somebody be like,
He's everywhere,
yeah, I was
man.
at this writing session. And so yeah, I do think it, a lot of fans maybe have been yearning for that sound, that vice versa, those songs,
Yeah,
and I think it's cool that they delivered on that. But also, there's some really interesting stuff in here,
yeah,
sonically that isn't at all
yeah.
like your 2000s youth group memories.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
for
that we'll
sure.
hop into when we jump in track by track here. But
Which one
um,
more thing just to that, you mentioned vice versus, and I like, even the fact that, like, when they told what the album was gonna be called, I'll pull out the CD version now. Oh, but you've got the cover up.
yeah,
But, Forever Now, which of course
is in
that's,
Afterlife. Yeah,
in Afterlife,
yeah,
and, then it gets called back in Where I Belong. I've got this banner, I don't know if that can be read from all the way here, but that's the line from Afterlife that says "Forever Now."
yeah.
That's merch that I got in a Christmas bundle like 8 years ago,
Nice.
and so I think like, I almost wonder if, like, calling the album Forever Now, I mean, it obviously fits the theme,
Yes.
it's perfectly on it, but, like, it doesn't, the album title is never said on
No,
this record.
but it is
So I
said on
wonder
a
if,
previous one, which is so fascinating.
right. I feel I'm not accusing them of being sneaky, but I think in a way this album title is kind of like another Trojan horse for the
Yes.
fan base to be like, like, ah, you're gonna like this one. This one's gonna feel like old Switchfoot, and then sneak some stuff in. So I think that's been cool because I do think the fan base has been receiving it
Yeah.
so well, compared to recent albums, that even albums that the fan base has liked but have been like, it doesn't feel like what I'm used to. I think they've received this one a lot better.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it has less to do with the music and more to do with the packaging,
Mm-hmm.
not the physical packaging, but like the mental packaging. Kind of, I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense, but it worked on me. So
Yeah.
it's a great record.
No, that's great. My Forever Now background dropped. I got a notification that it was struggling to keep up, trying to hold that
Mm,
together. So now you get my lovely like comic book display, which is also fun. But also,
it is also fun.
um, yeah, no, that's good. There's a lot of I think little Easter eggs for those folks who have been listening for a long time, kind of
Oh yeah.
sprinkled throughout here. Sometimes intentionally, and I think sometimes bands and artists unintentionally. They're just because art talks to each other. So like, so
Right.
sometimes
Ooh.
I do think there's a there's some unintentional gems in here too that also harken back that I think are just cool, maybe happy accidents or coincidences or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but let's hop in track by track. And we'll
All
start.
right.
We got three singles off the top. Two that came out before the album, obviously "Beautiful Life" that came out. Yes, there's side A, side B, and "Beautiful Life" that came out when got the music video treatment, all that sort of stuff when the album dropped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but let's start with "Wake Up, Mr. Crow," the first single, the first little tidbit that we got to hear from this record was this song. Um, yeah, how did "Wake Up, Mr. Crow" land for you? Did you listen to it repeatedly before the album came out? Did you listen to it once, set it aside? Like, what was your experience with the
Yeah.
singles?
So I wore out "Wake Up, Mr. Crow" when it came out, and almost all the way up until the album dropped, and then, like, I kinda, will take a break from the singles to listen
Mm,
to everything that's brand new.
yep.
But a couple days ago, I was riding home, and I just started the album from the top in the car, and, like, I listened to "Wake Up, Mr. Crow" for the first time in a couple weeks, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Gosh, this song is killer."
It's so good.
The song, it's like it sounds huge.
Yes.
Like, shout out, I guess, to Tanner Sparks for the mix and all the production and just the recording, but, like, the chorus sounds huge,
Huge.
man. Like, and then, like, even, like, I'm I claim to be a musician, but I don't know a lot of the terms that are real terms. So like the post chorus part, like just
Yeah.
kind of where they bring the riff back out, and then there's just kind of like this droning guitar bit going on in the side. It sounds like a siren is going
Yeah.
off, which may or may not have been intentional, but it's fitting for the song. The song feels huge. It feels um intimidating a little bit, but also like enjoyable. Like you just want to
Yeah.
nod your head really hard to it. I'm a huge fan of the song. I thought when the video dropped and we kind of saw like the visual approach they were taking for this record, that a little bit, I don't want to overuse the word dark. I don't think spooky or creepy is a fitting word, but
Yep.
like, they were trying to get a little bit edgy,
Yep.
like the spray paint and the crows and everything. Like they were getting a little bit weird.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. Like it definitely like hooked me, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a fun ride. So I'm a big fan of that song. I don't know where I would rank it in terms of compared to the other tracks
Yeah.
yet, just
Sure.
because I've sat with that one for so much longer,
Yeah.
but it still holds up. Like, I'm not sick of it after having this one for 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
so
So a hyper fixation of mine just in life are album openers. I am so fascinated with track ones and how artists and bands decide what they want you to hear first when you press play on an album.
right.
Um, and even though this is a single, and my wife was like, I've when I've been listening, I've kind of been jumping straight to "Beautiful Life" because I've heard "Wake Up, Mr. Crow" and "Absolution" so much. Um, I can't press play on this album and not start with "Wake Up, Mr. Crow." I just can't. Like
Yeah.
it is such a the statement of the album right off the top, and so much that I love about this song. You're right, the chorus is huge, and I just gotta like I don't know what your experience was listening to this, Chase, but when I heard this album for the first time, I was like, dude, this is such a Chase record. Like I can hear your voice over the melodies in the verses, and I was like,
I was
"Man,
just screaming
did
it
you
so
did
loud
you feel
listening from
so
here, you could
seen?
just hear me.
Did you feel so like, I just feel like this album with kinda like some of the spoken word stuff they're kinda doing in some of the verses,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, "This is when Chase makes music, this is what it sounds like." Like, this is,
Oh my god.
um
Dude, that's incredible. I wish I could, get, like, a production skill set to make a song that sounds like that, but wow,
sure.
that's awesome to hear. Wow.
Yeah, but it was just like, man, like I just didn't know if that had clicked for you or if you had felt seen by any
No,
of this
no,
at any
I
point.
didn't. I didn't really think about that. Maybe that's why I've
It happens
enjoyed the
multiple
song so
times too.
much. It
It
just kind
happens
of
multiple times throughout the record. Beautiful
wow.
Life was one of those. On the verse, I was like, yo, like Chase like has made this song. Like um
I was in all those writing sessions you
yeah,
talked about with John Foreman.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man.
No,
I let him, give me the ghost writer credit.
yeah.
I didn't need my name on there.
Yeah. No, there's just there's a lot of cool moments throughout the record where I was like, man, I think Chase is really gonna love like this moment because it
Yeah,
does feel so much of the way that you put out music
that's
to the
cool.
world too, which is really cool.
Wow.
Um,
And it makes me feel seen that you had that thought though. So
yeah,
I appreciate
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Um, yeah, and there's other moments on this song in particular. Like obviously, like the first thing off the bat, like that they want you to notice is the guitars. Like, it's loud, it's full, it's a great riff. I had a friend text me when the song came out at like midnight, and I'd kind of forgotten. I just maybe had a busy day or whatever. That song was coming out that night and was dropping. And he texted and he said, "Bro, the guitars," in all caps. And I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to listen to this." And yeah, the guitars, yeah, and that's a kind of a theme throughout this record. The guitars are
The guitars.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, coming off this song, everybody is like, "Who the heck is Mr. Crow? Uh, is this a real person? Is this a made up person?"
Yeah.
They didn't really super explain it, which is fine.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
I like it better that way. But obviously, as more of this album started to be seen, and they did start to talk about it more and different interviews and whatnot. You started to get a little bit more of a glimpse into what the whole Mr. Crow thing is going on. As a 21 Pilots fan, and as you are as well, it's hard when you
Of
hear a
course.
name in a song to not just like hyperfixate and go
Want to
off the rails.
sleuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of what
Who
is
is
going
Clancy?
on. um,
Yeah,
and so
man.
obviously, like
Absolutely.
the Mr. Crow stuff throughout the record is very felt, and there is a story that
Yeah.
they're telling, but it's also not like this lore infused albums long thing that
Yeah.
they're doing either. So, um,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
think it was like the perfect little like sprinkling of it to kind of because I feel like that a lot of Switchfoot fans are also 21 Pilots fans.
yes,
And then like some other bands that I have seen start to lean into that, like that we another band we both love, Little Image.
yes,
They kind of toyed
another
with like,
fantastic record this year. Oh my
Mr.
gosh,
Cynical
yes,
from Kill the Ghost.
such a
And
good
they
record.
had some stuff in their music videos. They went a little bit harder. Like they leaned in a little bit more, I
Yes,
think, to that. But yeah, so some other bands are trying it out. But I think Switchfoot did it a really cool way where it was just enough of a sprinkle to get us wondering like, what is this? Who
yeah,
is this? Why is this a thing? It wasn't like overly done, like they didn't like seem like they were totally trying to rip off
yep.
Tyler Joseph, who is another guy who was cited Switchfoot as a big influence
Yes,
multiple
and was
times.
also on the Beautiful Let Down Deluxe.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I forgot that he was on there, and it was incredible too. But yeah, I thought it was a perfect sprinkling of it. Um, One thing that I thought was funny, before I got my hands on a physical copy,
Yeah,
and of course, if you see it in a store, it's gonna have like the little sticker on the shrink wrap. But
I kept it for the vinyl. I
I
still
did
have it.
too. I just lit um the shrink wrap open, so
Yep.
I haven't been able to fully
Oh,
open
nice.
and see in between. I'm kind of going back and forth on whether I want to do that. But I thought, if someone picks this up at a record store, and they haven't heard of it, they're gonna think, is this an album by a band called Forever Now?
Yeah,
And the album's called Long Live Benjamin Crow, because
yeah,
that's all it says on the
yeah,
cover. So I
yeah, yeah.
think even that itself, like, kind of gives an air of mystery.
Yes, it does.
But it wasn't overplayed. Again, as kind of like a nerd, and I like 21 Pilots, and I like to hyperfixate, and we are both really into fiction.
Yes,
We read and watch a lot of fiction, so I think I would have had a little bit of fun if they even went a little bit further with it. But I don't know if that's them so
sure.
much, but I texted you guys I think the other day in that same group chat you've been talking about, and said like I'm just gonna have a little bit of fun with it myself, and I'm gonna create some theories.
Yeah,
And I sent you the John Foreman solo song
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
2015, "Fake Your Own Death," and I'm like, "Mr. Crow's alive. He faked
yeah,
his death."
yeah,
So I'm just making up stuff just to make it up. But yeah, I think that was a cool thing.
yeah,
Because yeah, I think like you said. Um, the point of Mr. Crow is not to like have this big long story, but the point of Mr. Crow is to kind of just give a name to the character that represents all of us.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. So we talked a lot about "Wake Up, Mr. Crow," but it's the opening record. It was the lead single. I think it deserves a big talk. But I guess we'll have
it
to
does.
maybe cut through some of the other songs a little faster.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
We'll see what happens. You know, we'll cut. We'll make up time somewhere. Um. Yeah. So "Wake Up, Mr. Crow," obviously good song. We like it a lot. And then the next song, also a single, "Absolution." Um. I This will be my most listened to song of the year, I think.
heck yeah,
When a Spotify Wrap drops at the end of the year, I have a hard time seeing anything that's going to top it at the moment. As far as just like the most listened to song,
right? Okay.
I've worn that song out. Play it all the time in the car. Super loud, super fun. Um, my wife said it reminds her a lot of Ammunition, which is cool. Um,
I hear it.
and
Yeah.
I think there's some Oh Gravity album guitar stuff going on too, a little bit in there. And then at the end of the song, it kind of has the same twinkle as Stars does, which is kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So Absolution, what did you think? Yeah, did you wear this one out too before the album
I
came
did.
out?
Yeah. I don't think I listened to this one on its own a lot. 'Cause I liked to pair them together, so when
Yeah,
Absolution came out, I would just start "Wake Up, Mr. Crow" and let it fade into
yeah,
Absolution. Because I love, like, transitions
yep,
even when there's not a true transition,
yes.
but I like to build the memory bank in my head
Like
that
this
when one
song comes
song comes
after.
off,
Yeah,
my head knows what's coming, so
yep,
yeah.
it's
So
cool.
I always listen to Absolution with Mr. Crow, which I guess is another reason I've listened to Mr. Crow so much. I think it's incredible. I love it. I don't like have any major thoughts about it. One
Yeah,
thing my brother said that was I thought was really funny. He said it sounds like something from like a Need for Speed video game
interesting.
back in the day. I don't know if you ever played those games, but I learned a lot of music that like I loved from like playing those games back in like
Yeah,
'05, '06, and they always had super awesome soundtracks. At least I thought so. So I
that's
think
cool.
that was a really high compliment coming from my brother to say that because we both like still to this day will listen to some songs that we
Yeah,
learned from those games.
it
So,
was giving
but it's just fast paced and yeah, yeah.
it was giving like Skate 3 vibes to me as far as like the soundtrack,
Yeah,
you know?
that sounds right too. They're kinda in the same vein, I guess,
Yeah,
of what they
yeah,
would wanna sound like.
yeah. Yeah, I think this song probably has the most like nostalgic 2000s Switchfoot guitar riff um of the songs that are here. Like if you jumped from Nothing Is Sound to this song, you'd be like, "Oh, like
Yeah,
they still got that sound."
that tracks.
But obviously like in the mix of the verses and even in the chorus, there's some interesting things going on where, you know, the guitar is playing the verse melody while John and Tim have the layered vocals over so it's just
Yeah.
like it's a very interesting sounding song, even though it has a very 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. The drums, I forgot about the drums in the verses, man. The
Yes,
drums, like, give it a really tight listen. I think Chad Butler went crazy on this
crazy.
album,
Yeah,
and this is one of those examples. I don't like I'm a drummer, that's my main instrument. Um,
left-handed too.
yes, yes, but, and I still don't know a proper term for how to say what he's doing in the verses other than, like, it sounds like he's playing it backwards,
Yeah,
and it's awesome. Yeah, the drums in this song, I think that was the biggest standout for me
yeah,
when it came out.
yeah, yeah. Absolution, great song, love it, great single. Again, I've listened to it 100 times probably by now. I really love it. Um, and then the third single, which came out with the rest of the album, but got the music video treatment, the whole deal, is "Beautiful Life." I don't know how well, obviously we're going to talk about how you feel about this song. Um, my initial listen on when I first heard it in context of the rest of the album, my first thought was, "Oh, this is the radio song," and that's fine. But I kind of just like, okay, this is a radio song. Let me get to the next one. Was like the first
Mm,
time I heard it. But I have gone back and revisited, obviously close to 20, 30 times now. Um, and it grows on me every single time I hear it. I watched the music
Nice.
video for the first time yesterday. I had not seen the music video.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yes. The music
I
video,
submitted some clips in their little, like, submit portal to get in that video. I didn't make it, but it's okay.
the the music video for that song completely changed the way that I looked at it. Like it
Oh,
finally clicked
nice.
for me.
Yeah,
And brought me to tears a little bit when I watched it last night.
nice.
And yeah, what Beautiful Life, single number
Yeah.
3.
No, I think you're exactly right. Like, it's kinda like it's the radio song, like, I think it's the one that they probably are a little bit hoping that it takes off on social media and
Yeah.
people start using it for, like,
Reels
reels
and
and
TikToks.
TikToks
Yeah.
and stuff, which would be fitting,
Yep.
I think that'd be cool to see. I know, like, I'm already like, "Man, I just wanna make all these compilations of my baby in the past
Yeah.
month and all that to this song," so, like, I've got a soft spot for it for sure. But yeah, it's kind of a standout from the album in that way. It doesn't really sound like the rest of the album, but I think it's good that it has that one. Like, I think most Switchfoot albums kind of have one song that's kinda like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and I think that's one thing that was missing from Interrobang,
Yep.
um, which again, maybe we'll save that for another day, but I like Beautiful Life. I don't think I'd rank it, like, toward the top,
I wouldn't either.
but I think for where I'm at right now in life, it feels really poignant for me. But another thing that I think is cool is, like, the chorus, it's simple, it's straightforward, it's just kinda echoing that it's a beautiful life, but the verses don't really sound like they fit almost with the song. Like, my first thought was like, I wonder if he, like, pieced together 2 song ideas. Like, he
Yep.
kinda started writing this, like, more, like, melancholy, like, I'm just exploring the darkness right now, and then patched it with, like, a song that he was writing where he's just like, "Oh, man, life is beautiful."
Yeah.
And that may be the case, but also, like, I think that makes it even more cool. It makes me appreciate it more to think about how he's writing this song, that if you just listen to the Reels version,
Yep.
like, it sounds like it's just like, "Oh, yeah, celebrate, your 4th of July fireworks
Yeah.
recap."
Yeah.
But then, like, in the verses, it's like, "No, man, life's real. Like, it's tough, it's crazy." So
Yeah.
I think that that's something cool about it.
Yeah. If you listen to the chorus and nothing else, you would think the song is different than what it actually is. Here's
Yes.
verse 2. Am I living? Am I dead? Is it all just in my head? I can't sleep when I'm in bed. I feel the darkness taking over me.
Yeah, that
And
that
then
does
and then
not
it, and
sound
then
like
and the next line is open my eyes to see. It's a beautiful
It's
life.
a Beautiful Life, right, yeah,
Like
so they were going like, there's some vice verses in there.
there is. Absolutely there is. Um and then obviously another Switchfoot callback. In the chorus, you've got the I'm still learning to breathe line,
Yeah.
which is
That I
just really
think
cool.
that in itself probably pushed this song a lot higher
Yeah.
for me, which is a very small nod, very small thing, but, like, I thought that was a really cool acknowledgement to, their history, but also just kinda
Yeah.
like it makes a lot of sense. I don't know, I love it.
Yeah, it feels like the line the need to breathe has how much air I will need to breathe, and it just like tickles your brain in that way of like,
It's like,
oh, I know what
I
that
see
is.
what you did there.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Which is really fun.
Also, I'm an asthmatic, so maybe I'm just glad to know that some other people are
Still
still,
learning to
trying to
breathe.
figure
Yeah,
out this
the
lung thing.
breathing thing. Yeah, no, that's great. Um, cool. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, Beautiful Life would also like probably be towards the bottom end of how I would rank them too, I guess, as far as songs go. But um, I still really like it. I don't skip it
uh-huh.
typically when it comes on. Really enjoy it. And
Yeah,
then we get Shake the Dust, which was a very like hard right turn as far as just like sonically, even compared to the
mhm.
first 2 songs that are very guitar heavy. Shake the Dust doesn't even sound like those. Like we're in a new
Yeah.
territory entirely with Shake the Dust. Um,
It's kinda like the singles were like the door, and, like,
yes,
there's a lot of cool stuff on this door, but open it up, come in the
here we go.
house, there's gonna be a whole new experience here. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously at the you got the opening guitar riff, which is great. Like doesn't sound like anything they've really done, and
Yeah.
is really cool. Um, and then you kind of get the story of John's grandfather and like a whole bunch of really cool things going on in the lyrics. Um, I have listened to this song a whole lot as well. When I first heard it, I um the first time I listened to it, I was like, "Where's the chorus?" I didn't quite because of how hard the opening
Yeah,
riff
that
is.
makes sense.
When the chorus rolls around and it's not centered around that huge riff,
Mm,
I was like, "Wait, where did I miss something?" And then I've really come to love this chorus,
yeah,
and just this idea, "Shake the Dust." Like I've really
yeah,
gravitated towards this song. But yeah, "Shake the Dust," track 4.
yeah.
What are we thinking?
Something that my wife said about this that I thought was really funny, when we were watching the live stream. I was
Oh,
watching
which
the
this
live
song on
stream.
the live stream sounds incredible. Like
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
that version more than the recorded
live.
one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
bet. My thought when I was watching the live stream was, "Oh, this one is 1,000,000% going on tour. Like, they're
Yes.
playing this live
Yes. Yes.
every night."
Yep.
Um, but one thing that my wife said that was really funny, she was, like, in the next room with baby listening, because she didn't wanna be seeing the screen and all that, but she said, "It sounds like a little kid rock song," and I was like, "What do you mean?"
Uh,
"Not kid rock,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
like a children's
yeah.
rock and roll song."
Sounds like a Kid Rock
We don't
song.
wanna go there. No, we're not going there. Don't bring that up. Sorry. But because, like, just like the chorus, shake the dust,"
Yeah.
they're doing their little bobbing up and
Yeah,
down and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's
And it's like,
cool.
I thought that was a really funny perspective. She's taught for a long time. She taught little kids.
Yeah.
And so that's a fun perspective, I think, from her. That it's like, the chorus, in a way, I hear it, like, it almost does sound like, what if we made, like, a real, like, raw rock and roll song
Yeah.
kind of for kids?
Yeah.
But then you listen to the
Whew.
verses, and, he's talking about walking through the cemetery and then his grandpa getting shot down in Germany, and like, okay, maybe the whole song is not for kids. But, the chorus, I could totally see, like, a bunch of seven-year-olds dancing around at church just going, "Shake the dust, shake the dust."
Yep.
I don't know. So I think that was a cool perspective, but yeah. Yeah, the opening guitar riff, like you said, pretty different, I think, from a lot of stuff we've ever heard from Switchfoot. I think they leaned into a lot of the heavy stuff. This is the first song I sent to my brother after the record came out. He's a big metalhead. He
Yeah.
loves heavy stuff. And he said that he felt like this was like kind of one of their heavier songs they've
Mhm.
ever had in a sense. Which yeah, so I thought that was cool to get that acknowledgement from him.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it's an interesting song. I've listened to it a lot. I still don't know like where to put it,
Yep.
how to like rank it or anything. But it's like I said, I definitely think they're gonna play it live. I
Yep.
hope to make it to this tour because I think it'd be a lot of fun to hear live.
Yeah, I think this one has a lot of replay value for me. Um, but as far as like, is this the best song on the album? I don't think so. Um, but it is a ton of fun to listen to, and obviously, like, what it's trying to communicate is also really powerful and special. Um, and so I
Yeah,
really love it for
yeah,
that reason too. But, um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't think it'd be my favorite song, but it's up. I've listened to it a whole lot. I've worn this one out too.
I
Um,
think that was the first song that they teased from this album. So, like, a long time ago, like, they've started pre-production on this album almost
2025, right? January
yeah,
25.
it was a long time ago. And I don't remember if it was, like, on one of their live streams for their subscribers or if it was just, like, on social media, but someone, like, commented and was like, "Okay, what can you tell us about the new album?" And it was still a long way out.
Yeah.
And they said, "We'll give you one little line," and it's from a song called "Shake the Dust." And the line says, "Only love outlasts the living."
Mm,
And just from that tidbit, almost 2 years ago, that is not what would have pictured
yeah.
this song being.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool to hear it and then be like, "Oh, okay." I don't know, it reframed that whole memory for me. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Really love this song. That's a cool little tidbit. Yeah, I saw that they posted the other day, uh, of like when they were in the studio or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, we started recording January 2025." So it's taken a while
It's been a long
for this
time,
album
man.
to
Wow.
get to us. But they've been busy beyond just this record too. With
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff there. Natural Causes is track 5. Um, this song, among pretty much everyone that like has sent me a text or whatever, has been like the standout track of the album for a lot of people. On the Switchfoot Reddit, this is like the most upvoted song, the one that the
Mhm.
most people have commented on. This seems to be a song that's really resonating. But did it resonate with you?
Um, I don't know if it hit me, like, in the deep feels, again, like, I think I've just been kinda, like, in this weird happy-go-lucky state in life the past couple of months, which is not normal for me. I'm normally emo, and I'm like, "Man,
Yeah,
Ecclesiastes, I
yeah,
hate
yeah, yeah.
life."
Everything is meaningless.
Everything is meaningless, so I think a year ago, this would have been, like, my song.
Yeah,
But right now, I think I kind of turn my brain off a little bit more when I listen to it because the melody and the guitar, back to the
back to the
guitars. And
guitars.
this is a little bit softer, there's not as much, distortion going on in this one, I guess. But dude, that riff that repeats throughout the song is just
Killer.
like killer. It just takes me somewhere. So this one, I won't say I guess that I feel like it's resonated with me
Yeah,
yet, meaning wise, but just sound wise. Like I can just listen to this one over and over and over, and it feels like uh, it just takes me somewhere. So
yeah,
that's my takeaway. That might be a weird one. And like I said, it's weird for me,
yeah.
but that's where I'm at with it.
So as two people who love Jesus, and you'll understand what I mean when I say this. The chorus in Natural Causes, um, is like of the Holy Spirit to me. Like
Mm.
just the melody, it like gives me chills. Like there is God in this chorus, kind of a
And
vibe.
I felt
Uh,
God in this natural
yes,
causes.
in this Natural Causes. Um, I
No, yeah,
and the way
man.
the
I mean, I'm
guitars come in on the chorus too, like
mhm,
it
mhm.
literally like feels like it takes me somewhere else that
Right.
only
Yeah,
music
yeah,
can take you, right? And
yeah.
um,
Yeah, and I feel that, like, again, like, I feel that strongly without even paying attention to the
yes,
words. So there's
yes,
something going on in this song.
yes.
They got the sauce, man.
In fact, the first few times I heard it, I did not, I could not tell you what the song was about. I was just like so into the
Yeah,
sound of
yeah.
it, that since listening to it over and over, obviously like it's about love and relationships that just kind of
Mhm,
like
mhm.
leave your life without a ton of reason or natural causes, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, as I've listened to it, I've like reflected on friendships and relationships in my own life that have just kind of like faded away without
Mhm.
really much of a reason, or like it was just that season of life.
Yeah,
Um, and like those things are worth grieving in their own way too, which is yeah, just really interesting. And really love this
yeah.
song. This would probably be like up there for me as one of the better songs on the album. To tier
It's a
rank it.
great song. Yeah.
Um, I saw somebody on YouTube commented like this song has the Switchfoot sauce, and like yes, yes, it
Yeah,
does,
yeah, it
it
does.
does. Um,
Yeah.
and
I
so yeah, I
think the
really love this
riff
one.
too, like the repeating riff, like it's almost got like kind of like like West Coast indie vibes
Yes,
too, which they are a West Coast band that started indie, but they've never really had that sound.
yep,
So I thought that that was a kind of cool thing to delve into for them.
yep. Alrighty, moving on to track six, last song of side A.
Ooh,
Um, YFWYA. You forgot who you are.
yeah.
Um, really love this song. Really fun. And definitely is The Adults Are Talking by The Strokes, which is fine.
It
Um,
is, yeah. You called that, and I was like, oh, he's right.
which doesn't make it any like I love that. Like it's a really fun vibe. And
Yeah.
interestingly enough, I think this song would fit perfectly with some of the other songs on Interrobang, which is its own um
Okay.
along Lost Cause, If I Were You, like I think it's
Yeah, I could hear that. I could hear that.
in the
Yeah.
same vein.
There is I think it's in like the second verse where it shows up the most, but the guitar tone,
Yeah,
there's a guitar tone that I assume is John that he's using that comes straight out of Interrobang.
yeah,
So I hear what you're saying.
yeah. Really
Um,
love it in that way. And then obviously like the chorus, the lyrics there, made in the image of the one who loves it, like those kinds of like
yeah,
really really powerful stuff.
yeah.
I think reading the tea leaves, this song got Corey Asbury into making worship music again. just a theory based. I sent you that clip.
I can see it. I can see it.
Um, and but yeah, you forgot who you are. Where does
Yeah.
this one stack up for you?
So weirdly enough, especially after first listen to the record, this is my number one from the
Okay,
album. I'm
okay,
given that time to change.
yeah,
I'm sure it'll change many times, and then I'll probably after several months rest on like a
sure,
final. Here's where I'm at. But this has kind of been my go to. I think this has been the one I've listened to the most since the record
yeah,
dropped. It's so much fun. It's I get what you're saying about the interrobang kind of callbacks, but like in a great way.
yes, 100%.
Um, it's for me, in a little bit, it's giving Fading West. It
Uh huh.
doesn't fit on that album sonically, it wouldn't fit, but just I think maybe the mood from
Yeah,
there. I think I've enjoyed that a lot. I threw this one on the youth group playlist. I'm also a
nice.
youth pastor. Shout out to that.
We've
We're
become the
those
youth
cool old youth
pastors.
pastors now that
We've become them.
we're
Now
trying to
it's
put these kids on
yes.
Switchfoot
Now it's
these
our
days.
job to pass it
It's our
down.
job. So this is kind of the song that I'm using to try to expose that to the younger generation. This is the best band, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
If you're a homeschool Christian, then
yes,
you've never heard anything like it.
yes.
I have a lot of homeschool Christians, and it's awesome. I
That's
love it. They're
great.
the best.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so this one, a lot of fun for me. I think it's great. Again, as a person who loves Jesus, I think that just even opening the chorus
Yeah,
and you were made in the image of the one who loves you. I think that's pretty bold.
yeah,
I think it's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great song. And that concludes side A in the live stream. John literally goes over and flips the record onto side B, and side B is its own experience, I think.
It is.
Completely
It
different than
really
side
is.
A. Completely different. And I would say also similar to Interrobang in that way. Um,
Mhm.
where the side B is like a whole different animal uh,
Yeah.
to side A,
Yeah.
which is like so fun and like so rewarding, especially to
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to it on the vinyl.
Mhm.
That when you do
Mhm.
physically flip it, you are kind of getting a whole new experience. And it starts with Same Blood, which is a
Okay.
song that I liked more the first time I heard it than the 50th time I've heard it.
Okay. Okay.
It is diminishing for me a little bit. And I texted you this. It's partially because of the lyric in the chorus that is like the Humpty Dumpty thing. Like it's just
Yeah.
a little corny to me. But
I don't know why that line gets used in so many pop
I
culture
don't either.
references and songs. Like
Yeah.
there's a what remind me it Reliant K says it in a song at some point.
Mm,
It's the silly shoes rap
yeah,
at the end of
there you go.
Two Lefts. So I don't know if you count that one.
Yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of a
It's yeah, kind of a different thing, but
sorry. But Colony House,
yep.
another band that I think we both like.
I think Taylor Swift
They
uses it too. I can't remember the song. I'm trying to place it.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know. I don't know. I don't know why we as a culture love that line from Humpty Dumpty, but we do.
it's in the Archer from Taylor Swift. I knew
Okay,
it.
okay.
It was
Nice,
there.
nice.
Came back to me. Um, but yeah, it just came off a little corny to me. But musically, I think this song is so fascinating. They are doing so many interesting things here.
Yeah, as
The
soon as you
tempo
think you have it
switches,
figured
like
out, they change it, so it goes somewhere else.
oh,
Curveball.
it is so
Yeah,
fun in that way. Um,
yeah. I think because of that, this would be a really fun one to hear live.
yes,
And we know that they can pull it off live because they did
I
it on
do
the
not
live
envy
stream.
them trying to play it every
No,
night.
yeah,
But
this one I could see this one throwing you off, but I also feel like this is that kind of song where because it's that complicated, you
yes,
kind of have to get it so tight
yep,
that like it becomes like mechanical to you, and you can just
yep,
explode it, nail it. I don't know if I see them really playing this song a whole lot, and I think it's unfortunate because if they don't play it a whole lot, I think it's one that they probably won't try to touch
yeah,
later on if they're not really in the rhythm of playing it, which is kind of sad. I'm with you. It's closer to the bottom of the list for me, but just because of like the tempo changes and stuff that they do,
yep,
I think that it makes it such a fun experience, and it's got moments where you can headbang and then you can headbang at a different tempo
yeah.
and like I don't know. It does some cool stuff.
Yeah, another song that I like the live stream sound more than the sound that's actually on the album
I am with that on this one 100%.
because I feel like I can make out a little bit more of the verse lyrics on the live stream mix. Whereas I feel like on the record, the verses are very muddled and with the very heavy bass and guitar.
Mhm.
Um, that
Which shout out to Tim Foreman.
oh my gosh.
He also
It
went
wasn't
crazy
really
on this
until
record.
the live stream that I really was like, this is a Tim Foreman record. Uh just
Which
yeah.
sidebar, let me throw this out there before we move
And his
forward.
solo record's great too.
Yes, yes. Because Tim Foreman released a solo record last year, I really expected a lot more Tim Foreman vocals on this album, which um I don't think we got there's no lead vocals from Tim
No.
on this record. And I kind of thought we would. I'm gonna start a campaign to try to get them to like make at least a couple more
Yeah.
songs like Jonas Brothers style, where
Yes.
they're kind of like sharing verses and choruses and stuff like that. I
That would be
thought
so
maybe
fun.
this would be the record, but I'm just saying John Foreman had so much to say on this one that he didn't give Bongo Chico time. But
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there.
But that's just a sidebar.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my other hot take.
Yeah.
But
This is another, I think, Chad quietly MVP of the song.
yeah, yeah,
Just with all the tempo stuff that he's has to work through, keep up with. I think this is quietly Chad Chad MVP song on the record too for me. So I like it. It's probably on the lower end for me though, as far as some of these songs. I know it's pretty popular among Reddit folks, and just because it sounds so different and it's
yeah.
just sonically there's so much they're trying and experimenting with. But yeah, it's not one that I've come back to a whole lot.
I don't think I've skipped any in any of my listen throughs. There have been a couple of times that I've like started the album and not
I've
made it
got
all the way
one, and
through, and I try to pick it up
it's a
later.
hot take.
Okay, okay.
And we'll get to it
We'll
here in a
get
minute.
to it. We'll get to it then.
Ride or Die is the next song, which is good, fun. I texted you that I feel like this song sounds very, to me, very Where the Light Shines Through. And just its vibe and for some reason transports me to 2016. I don't really know what about it is doing that for me. Um, but it maybe it has a little bit of like if the house burned down tonight as far as like energy, like my ride or die, the
Yeah,
person I want to that's
yeah,
that I'd
yeah.
love and cherish more than anything in the world, like that kind of a
Hmm.
thing. Um, the imagery of the cars driving everywhere, like the rust
Yeah.
bucket, like with
Hmm.
driving from away from the fire and where the light shines. I don't know what makes it very where the light
Yeah.
shines through for me. Um, but this is a fun, like I could hear the song in Target, like
Be like, okay, yeah, it's a vibe.
yeah. Target's got some taste today. Um,
Yeah. Jared,
the third
the
member.
the third member of our group chat, who may have been the one who started it, I don't know. He's a guy who's really good at bringing people together.
Yes, he is.
Uh, but anyways, he said that this song sounds like Beck,
Oh,
and I was like, okay,
yeah.
I didn't hear it, but now I hear it.
Yep.
I can't unhear it.
Yep.
I think that was a good assessment, but in a fun way, you
Yeah,
know.
totally. Totally. And so I don't really have much else to say about this one other than it's fun, has a good vibe. We'll put it on like a road trip playlist and
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
put the windows down. Like it's a fun song in that way. Um,
It'll show up on an Instagram post of mine at some point,
yeah, yeah,
my wife's next birthday post or so I don't know,
yeah.
but
It's a great. I could see them playing this one live and just in the sense of like, hey, if you're here with your ride or die tonight, like that kind of like a
yeah.
thing. Like,
Ah, that could be
um,
fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think there's some fun uses for it, but
My
um,
interpretation of the song, and I haven't heard them talk about the story of it at all. I don't know if they've said anything. My interpretation of it, just from like the verses mainly, it sounds like it's kind of like a song about them starting their
yes,
band.
yes.
So I don't know if that's like obvious or clear, or if I'm just misreading
No, I
that,
think
but
you're
that's
right
what it
on.
sounds like to me. So I think that for me, I think probably makes it cooler than if it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're my homie.
Well, that's what's so brilliant about Switchfoot, right? Like
Hmm.
even if the house burns down tonight, right? Great song, super fun. Um, that song was written out of the fires in San Diego and in California,
Right.
right? Like, and it's like once you know that song has a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
Um, And same thing with Ride or Die. It's like this could just be a standard, like typical song about somebody you
Mhm.
really care about, whatever.
Right,
But
yeah.
when you know it's about them as like starting their band and like early, like it takes on a whole new thing, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
something that I would love to, I guess, really nail down as a songwriter because I feel like a lot of times I either try to write a song that's like, here's a song for the world that you can interpret however you want,
yep,
or a song that's like, this is so personally my story. And I have not figured out
yep,
how to make it both at the same time.
yep,
So kudos to them for being able to do that so often.
yeah,
But yeah, so very cool.
yeah.
I like this one.
It's fun.
It's probably like in the middle of the
Yeah,
road for me.
yeah,
Um, it's a lot of fun, but like it doesn't have a deep resonance with me.
yep,
But I do think it's a blast.
yes, super fun. Um, the next song, Darkness. This song, um, number one, another one that I like more on the live stream than the recorded version. I just think
Okay.
I think the mix on the verse and the live stream sounds a little bit better than the record.
They were trying some like unique like phase
Yes,
stuff on the verses for sure.
yes. Um,
Um,
I this is up there for me at the top of the album is one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite song. Um, and a very interrobang feel to me as well. Of just
I can hear it.
and just John's vulnerability, honesty, is unbelievable in this song.
Yeah.
Obviously, strange way to start a song. And really love the way the guitars sound. Really love the falsetto on the chorus. But Darkness,
Mhm.
Chase, any as a youth pastor too, I'm sure that there's
Yeah. So let me say that as a moment in credit to you. So back to the release day of the album, my plan, my goal was to stay up to midnight,
yeah,
listen to it when it dropped. I didn't make it, didn't survive. I was up well past midnight,
yeah,
but did not get to listen to music.
yep,
Thankful for the baby
yep,
that was keeping us awake, but it's all right. So I didn't get to listen to the next day, but I woke up the next morning after sleeping for 33 minutes, I think. And like I woke up to a message you had sent those lyrics, like the opening
yeah,
lyrics from the song. And so, you know, I felt that that was really cool on your part because I feel like you're a youth pastor. The
yep,
song comes out talking about a youth pastor who was just on some
yep,
nonsense, which unfortunately has been a very common thing.
yep,
Um, yeah, and if anyone listens to this, you don't know what's going on in the song, listen to it. But he says he's talking about a youth pastor basically who married a girl from his youth group or like started dating a girl from his youth group,
yeah.
kind of.
Uh,
Um,
Probably some grooming going on. Like, yeah,
yes,
yep,
for sure, man. And again, sadly, that's been so common.
yep,
But to have you like as a youth pastor, that you're like, you're pulling out those lyrics and like you're like, listen, this is great.
yeah,
I thought because I read the lyrics before I heard the song
yep,
because of that. And I thought that that was cool on your part because man, maybe to get a little bit deep,
yep,
as Christians, I think a lot of times we just like to get offended by everything.
yeah,
And because of that, like it makes it hard when people need to call out the stuff that needs to be called out.
yeah,
Because that's the kind of nonsense that needs to be called out.
totally.
Like we can't just let that stuff slide by. So again, like you said, I think his vulnerability, his honesty, his willingness to bring that up, to call that out, especially knowing a lot of the people who are going to listen to this album are
Yep,
Christians, but also probably acknowledging a lot of the people that are going to listen to this album that grew up with Switchfoot maybe or do not claim to be Christians anymore.
yes.
And it might be because a lot of the reasons that
Their youth
fall in that
pastor.
same, yeah. Unfortunately,
Yep,
yeah, that's so
yep,
real. So I thought that was really timely to
yeah,
mention that. But then also, like, because I saw some discourse about this song that did kind of put some people off, like some Christian folks who were kind of almost like they were like I saw some people trying to explain away the meaning of the first verse.
mm,
And they like I saw someone say like it says prearranged marriage. It doesn't mean the youth pastor married the teenage girl. It means he arranged her to marry someone else. I'm like, come on now. Like not that like come on now.
yeah,
Don't try to soften this up. Um
yeah.
so I thought
The
that that was so
verses in this
real.
song are super clear. Now, the
Dude,
chorus is where it leans heavy into metaphor
yeah,
but
yeah.
like the verses are
So
pretty
clear. Yeah, you can't
crystal
really
clear.
misinterpret. But the fact that even like in the chorus and kind of in the bridge, she does lean back into like, like he's still wrestling with it. None of it, like, it doesn't make sense. A lot of the things that Christians, the difference between Christendom and
Yep.
Christian. Um, but he still like, even ever so vaguely leans back into saying like, I hear your voice call my name, saying, "Meet me in the darkness."
Mm-hmm.
He's not running from the truth of the nastiness of the
Yep.
world, but he's also not, turning his back on the Lord in the song, which I think is cool. I think maybe he leaves that open to interpretation for the
Yeah.
people that might land in a different spot, which is also cool. But dude, the line in the second verse, "Theodicy that keeps me up at night,"
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that's repeated in my head
Yep.
because like it's a simple line. It's not like a profound thing, but it's so real. Like that, yeah, like that's the part of this whole ordeal. And we're, again, we're youth pastors here. This is a part of this whole thing that I'm like, I still don't have an answer, man.
Yep.
So this song is so poignant, so timely. It's also fun to listen to. If you turn
Yes.
off your brain, at first I thought, I'm not going to listen to this song a lot. I'm so glad it exists. But like, I needed to digest the meaning,
Yep.
but it's not a song I'm going to listen to a lot. But it's another one of those that even if you do just like kind of turn off your brain and play it in the background, it sounds so good.
So good.
Like, so I've listened to this one a lot more than
I
I
have
thought I
too.
would. And it started out again, like I was like, this is such an important song, but I didn't have it high on my list. It has moved up every time I've listened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is yeah, probably my top three songs on the album. Probably has my favorite lyric in the back half of the bridge leading into the chorus. At night, I know the sun's still there, even in the dark when I'm undone with despair. When I sing
Mm,
these broken songs like a candle, like a prayer, meet me in the darkness. And in the
so
live
real.
stream, I don't know if this is real. We might have to get J4 to confirm this. I think he gets choked up. I do. I think he gets choked up singing the bridge into the chorus. Maybe he ran out of air in his lungs and he's catching. But like when it comes back up on July 14th or whatever, go back,
Yeah.
listen to
Yep, we're
Darkness.
gonna have to rewatch it.
I think
Mhm.
he gets choked up.
Wow.
And it
I don't know if this is bad to say, but I love when that
I do
happens.
too. I do
There
too.
there have been a few times. I feel like every time I've seen him play the blues, whether in person or
Yeah.
on a live stream, he always cries at the blues, gets choked up.
Yeah.
There's a couple more songs I've heard him do it on, but it's always like, "Oh, you're feeling this one,
Yeah.
Johnny."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that. I didn't catch that.
Actually, the
I'm gonna have to
specific
look back
moment
at that.
is after he says like a candle, like a prayer, and
Wow.
he says, meet me in the darkness. And like after
Yeah.
like that, meet me in the darkness is when he gets choked up. I can hear it in my
Which
brain.
is another thing that's cool because, a lot of times like, you have to imagine a singer that's playing these songs over and over every night.
Yep.
There is a level where they have to turn their brain off
Mm-hmm.
and they're just singing it by muscle memory.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing.
Yep.
Like, you got an hour and a half of songs to sing.
Yep.
That times that's gonna happen. But to see those moments where it's like this person is still so profoundly impacted by the things they wrote about, it's cool. It
Yeah.
is cool. It's a real like humanizing moment, I think.
Yeah. And like last point on this song before Broken Wings. Um, I think it is very interesting and special, and there's a tension in there of him acknowledging how not only in his own life but just saying youth pastor out loud
Yeah.
for how much for how many people got into Switchfoot because of their youth group
Mhm. Mhm.
um because of their youth pastor, right? In our case, we were very lucky to have two great youth pastors who got us into
Right.
Switchfoot. It's not the case for everybody, but I think just acknowledging that like for so many people who click play on this song, their youth group is where Switchfoot was introduced to them. And for some people, they are still wrestling with what that means and the tension of that.
Yeah.
There's everybody's bringing different experiences to that. Even John himself, as he's telling his own story, is like, yeah, the youth group shaped my life too.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of reminded me of the responsibility to like as youth pastors,
For
um,
sure, man.
that we have, and and yeah, so a lot of really cool stuff there.
For sure.
And hard stuff, and that's the tension of the song. Broken Wings. I like it. I like it more every time I listen to it. Um, a very Switchfoot anthem vibe, little vice verses feel to it a little bit too. Um, Obviously with the wings metaphor and Mr. Crow and the Memento Mori with the crow, like there's some wing stuff going on in this album. Um, yeah, Broken Wings. Any initial thoughts,
Yeah.
takeaways?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Paul McCartney and Wings.
Yes.
Um, no, I feel like I wanted to disagree with you more on this talk.
It's
I was
coming. It's
hoping we would
coming.
like
It's coming.
butt
We're gonna
heads.
butt heads in a
Um,
moment. It's coming.
I yeah, the first listen, I was like, this is the weakest song on the album. It's
Yep.
not bad.
No.
I remember, I won't say the band I'm thinking of because it's another band that I actually love. So I don't want to diss them on here. But they have a song that I think sounds a lot like Broken
Yeah.
Wings. And it's my favorite song on that respective
Oh,
record.
cool.
So then I was like, man, that's a nod to how good Switchfoot
Mm-hmm.
is. And it's another band that's inspired by Switchfoot, I
Yeah.
think. Um, that I was like, I'll just call it's Gable Price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Gable Price.
Yeah.
But he has a song on The Consequence of Being Alive, which is a record I love. I love
Mm-hmm.
that record.
Mm-hmm.
And the song Upside, it's the opening track of the album. In a lot of ways, I think that Broken Wings sounds like that song.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, man, that's such a nod to how good Switchfoot is because my favorite song on a Gable Price album is my least favorite song on Switchfoot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't, Gable Price is probably not going to hear this, but I hope no one thinks that I'm dissing him because, again, love that guy, love that record. But I think that just speaks to how incredible Switchfoot is, and
Yep.
I think he'd probably agree.
Yep.
But yeah, but this one has improved for me over the listens. I think if you take Beautiful Life out of this album,
Yes.
Broken Wings is that
Yep.
radio anthem that, yeah, even like the Christian sphere
Yes.
would spin. So I could see that getting brought out as that role maybe later on,
Yeah.
like they've done in the past, where they'll cut another single off the record like a year after it comes out
Yep.
and send it to Christian radio.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think I'm well, I'm gonna get back to it. I'll stop there. I have something else to say about this song, but I'll get back to it in a later portion.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is the side B radio single. If you were to split this as side A, side B. And of side B, Ride or Die, maybe two. It's kind of like the most straightforward. Sonically, has a little bit of that Switchfoot sauce that people talk about with the chorus, and I think there's yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on just lyrically, but sonically, I think it is kind of the of the side B stuff stands out as like one of the more straightforward songs
Yeah.
that we have. And then we get to Two Twins, which is where we're gonna beef a little, I think, Chase.
All right, let's go. I've been waiting.
This is my skip. I'm gonna say it. This is my skip.
Oh,
This is the hottest take of all takes. I I have seen the love and praise for the song everywhere, and I think it's bold. I think it's ambitious. I think it's a great swing for the fences on a song conceptually. Um, I think the blues riff is awesome. I just, I, it just is a little corny. Like I don't know, dog. Like I, I texted this to you a few days ago, and I was just like, the no brother, there ain't no other thing. Like, it just is. It just feels a little corny to me. So, Two Twins is my skip. But for a different category in a moment, it won't be the same for that. But it is. I think it's essential to the record. But I don't find myself wanting to listen to this song very often, and yeah. So this is my skip. That's what I got.
So my thoughts on it, we were talking about this before you hit record, I think, but John Foreman played this as a solo song
yes.
on the In Bloom tour.
Yep.
It was unreleased, and so it was like one of those cool things that was like, oh, this is an unreleased song. So it was one of those, like, people recorded it on their phones and passed it around social media.
Yep.
So I think a lot of, like, at least super dedicated Switchfoot fans had heard a version of this song long before the record. So when they released the track list and I saw that this song was coming on
Yep.
this album, I was shocked, and I thought it was gonna be much more of an outlier. I kind of like, I wondered, I was like, "Is it gonna be like like an acoustic song?
Mm,
Like,
no.
is it gonna sound like a John Foreman song?" And I think honestly, um, that may be one of the main reasons that I like it a lot more than I thought I would, because I expected it to be a John Foreman song maybe someday.
Hmm.
But then, like you said, the blues riff.
It's great. Great riff.
I've been listening to a lot of BB King lately,
Uh-huh.
and so anything on the blues scale is just gonna make me foam at the mouth.
Yeah.
So that alone, I think, I my first words to you were, "Nah, it scratches the itch for me."
Yeah. That's great.
I see what you're saying, like, the cheesiness, like, I think everyone's kind of probably seen this. It's not an original idea. So he al like, almost word for word paraphrases, that was a paradox, but the classic poem by Wayne Dyer,
Okay.
I think it's called The Parable of the Twins.
Yep.
It might have a different meaning, but so, like, he really closely paraphrases
Yep.
that. And I don't think that's something he's tried to hide.
Yeah.
They haven't shouted it out much. But, like, he's been known to reference poetry, quote poetry. So I don't think he's claiming it's an original
Sure.
idea. But because of that, I've seen a lot of, like, evangelicals, like, share, like, more or less, like, memes of this concept for years,
Mm-hmm.
of the two twins talking in the womb. And then it's like, do you believe in mom? It's like, no, obviously there's no mom because I can't see her. It's just like,
Yeah.
aha, I got you. Um, so I'm impressed that they made it a song that I think sounds good.
Yeah.
I have seen some maybe like evangelical Switchfoot fans not like it because of that,
Sure.
which I get it. One thing that I find interesting, and I don't know a lot about Wayne Dyer, the guy who wrote the original poem that's being referenced here. But based on just my quick research
Yep.
on him, I did not think he was a professing Christian.
Mm,
He was like a spiritual, um,
sure.
I don't want to misquote anything about this guy, but to my knowledge, he was not a professing Christian, which I think makes it that much more interesting.
Yeah.
And I think definitely John Foreman comes about it maybe a little bit more from that angle.
Yeah.
But I think that that makes it really like, it gives it an interesting duality to me, because it's like, I I'm a Christian, and
Yep.
I know John Foreman is in that space to some degree at least. So that's how I hear it.
Yep.
But also knowing that really it can be interpreted, um, not necessarily about Jesus, but just about kind of acknowledging that there is more to life than the material.
Yeah.
um, I don't know. It makes it interesting. But I don't know if I ever sent it to you, but after I saw the In Bloom tour and he
Mm.
played that song, I made a meme that says, John Foreman says enough is enough and ends atheism. So probably one of the stupidest memes I've ever made, but that's the kind of meme
That's
that
great.
I like to.
That's great.
So anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting one. I would love to know how I feel about it in 6
Yeah. So
months.
would you say
Maybe.
the song is like top of the record for you? Near there? Where does this sit for you?
Oh gosh, it's a lot higher for me than I thought it would be
Yeah.
before the album came out. I would say it's top 5,
Okay. Yeah.
probably top 5.
Yeah.
But that, like I said, I'm sure that'll all change.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's two twins. That's where I'm at.
Yep. And it's a skip for me, and that's
But
fine.
brother, but brother, but brother,
Cool
but
moment
brother.
in the live stream. Cool moment in the live stream when he
Yeah,
looks at Tim and they have that moment.
yeah,
Very cool thing. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, just not a song I find myself wanting to revisit all that often. But leads us into another John Foreman solo sounding song with Breaking Up Again. A little 90-second interlude
Right.
that is really beautiful. And I love in the live stream when he plays it on piano. I think it sounds
Oh,
beautiful.
this is the one that I would say I would rather have the live stream
Yes,
recording,
I agreed.
just because of the straight piano made it so cool.
Yeah, sounds great. I don't know if there's anything else we need to say about the 90-second interlude. I kind of wish the album had another one somewhere. I don't know if that's a hot take, but maybe
No, I'm with that.
maybe
I'm with
between
that.
side A and B, like if there was another like 90-second, um, just little interlude connective to, like, I think
Would have
it'd be
made it
cool.
feel like a like really feel like a concept album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would have been fun. But that leads into the butterfly effect, which is the final song on the record. And what are you gonna say? You have a one holding up?
That's number one.
Oh, number
That's
one.
number
That's your
one
number
for me.
one. That's your
That's
number
my
one.
number one.
Okay,
I think I said that about another song already, but I got ahead of myself. That's my number
that's number
one for
one.
sure.
All right. Well, let's hop into it then. Yeah. Number one. What puts it up there for you?
Um, you said this. It's kind of like their deathbed,
It is. It,
referencing Reliant K.
down to having Matt on the
Having a
song.
Matt
Yeah.
Thiessen snuck feature, yeah, absolutely. Um, this is another song I did not think I would enjoy. Because I think you maybe sent some of the lyrics before I got to listen to the album, so I looked
My
through all the
bad. I'm
lyrics.
just a spoiler. Really, that's
No,
all I
you're
do.
good. I should have. I had plenty of time to listen by that point, but I was waiting to find like the perfect setting. Like I didn't just want to listen on my phone. Like I had to set it up and make it an experience. So I delayed it for myself, but it's fine. But I didn't really think I would enjoy this album. Or no, sorry. I didn't think I would enjoy this song as
Yeah.
much because very heavy, lots
Yep.
of talking about death.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't want to be thinking about death right now,
Yeah.
man. Which is kind of the irony, I guess, that the album exists for.
Yes.
But so stinking good. And to bring it full circle back to Wake Up Mr. Crow,
Gosh, man.
when that riff shows up on the butterfly effect, I literally fell out of my chair.
Yeah, I cried.
Like I was like,
I had tears running down my face.
this is the best band in the world.
Yeah.
And I know that's such a simple thing to do, right? But it made it feel so cohesive. It connected those songs. It connected the story, the person of Mr. Crow. Um, and again, I'll say this one last time. I would love to have the live stream version,
Yeah.
mainly just because instead of the hard cutoff that we get in the album, which I think is the right choice for the album, but instead of the hard cutoff, like they did that stop
Yep.
and then went right back into like a breakdown.
Uh-huh.
Just that part alone, I would love to have that on a recording.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, the butterfly effect is so good. And I think, again, silly as it may sound, I think had the Mr. Crow riff not reappeared, this song loses a lot of juice for me.
Yes, I agreed.
But that made it feel that much more important,
Yep.
I think. So that's my take on it. I think that's my favorite song on the record.
Yeah. I texted you on the day the album came out. Best close to an album maybe ever.
It's perfect.
Which maybe is hyperbolic and dramatic, but
I don't know.
it's up
No,
there,
yeah.
man. Like, and I the next text I sent was Switchfoot's Deathbed, which we've already mentioned.
Yeah.
And the part on the live stream that I like, my favorite thing is on the bridge, where it's the whole thing about I was told when I was a kid that we have 7 minutes whatever. Boaz's guitar plucking on that. The next time it pops up, it's way different than it is on the record. And it's so fun. It just tickles my brain in a way that just so satisfying. And
Let's take another minute to shout out Boaz because
first
late
record with
edition,
him on it.
first record with him on it.
Yep.
Dude is so stinking stupid on the guitar.
Yes. Yep.
I think he's one. I think they always like to acknowledge he's the only college graduate from the band, or maybe Chad is also a college graduate.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if you've ever like what you know about Boaz, but like, not only is he a college graduate, but he's got like recognitions and like achievement awards from Berkeley
Dang.
School of Music for
Yeah.
composition
Legit.
and stuff like that. I think his first big contribution to the band was a few years back when they released the Christmas album. And I don't think he was around yet for recording that. He may have added some later, like post-production edits or something, but they wanted to release like a songbook
Yeah.
for that album. and none of them know how to read music. So Boaz was the one who like transcribed it for them,
Mm,
because he's a musical genius.
yes,
So
that's really cool insight.
no, I just wanted to take a moment. You brought up
Yeah.
Boaz. I wanted to give him his flowers
My
because
other
I think he's
favorite
been a great addition.
Boaz moment, it actually happens on the live stream too. Clearly the live stream is pretty amazing. You should go watch it when it comes back up July 14th through the 20th. Um, is on the pre-chorus on Natural Causes. He like plays this like scale thing leading up to the chorus that builds even more anticipation for when the chorus
Mm,
hits.
mm.
That is not on the record. That is just so beautiful. I really really enjoy it.
I need them to like throw it back to 2004,
Yeah.
and I need them to press that
Give
live
me the
stream
Blu-ray.
onto a DVD. Yeah, put it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Reopen
Yeah.
Hastings across the country
Yeah.
so I can go buy it in Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I need this on replay all
Yes.
the time.
That's amazing. Um yeah, this is it was also be up there for me as far as like favorite songs go. The Wake Up Mr. Crow callback, yeah, had me on my knees. I love an album. Number one, I love an album that feels like it was put in order intentionally.
Yeah,
Um
yeah,
And I love how this song ends and it can loop right back to Wake Up Mr. Crow and you just want to listen to the whole album again. Like
yes,
straight
yeah,
that is such a fun experience. And really love when artists like take the time to like think through that stuff.
yeah.
Um and this is an album that I will shame people if they listen to it on shuffle. Um
Ooh,
this
yeah,
is like
yeah,
one of those ones. Like this is not a mixtape, this is not a playlist. This is an
yeah.
album that has been put in an order that is meant to be experienced in that order. Yes.
You got to buy the hard copy
Yes, and buy the physical
and go
copy.
from start to finish.
Yes. Yes. It is such a satisfying album experience. And I really love it in that way. So those
Yeah.
are the 13 songs in totality. Um, it's a great album and record, and I love it a whole lot. Where does it sit for you among their discography? If you had to like rank or tier, or you don't have to do
Yeah.
every album, but just like
Yeah.
generally, where is it sitting for you right now?
It is it's if I like broke all their discography into like 3 different tiers, just to keep it simpler, it's definitely in the top tier for me.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly where I rank it. I still go back and forth on what I even claim is my favorite Switchfoot record.
me too, dude. It
Um,
changes every day. Like I try.
yeah, a lot of times I say "Hello
Yep,
Hurricane," but then I've got my reasons for each different
yep,
one. If I'm honest, "The Beautiful Letdown" is probably way higher than I acknowledge it,
yep,
but I know that's kinda like the mainstream one, so I have to, seem different. I can't say "The Beautiful Letdown."
yep,
But I don't know where I even rank their albums at all. Again, Fading West, I know that's an outlier for a lot of people. That one's really high for me.
yeah.
But this record, and maybe it's just still new enough and I'm still excited enough about it. And again, it's nostalgia and just like the way that we feel when a record comes out
Mm-hmm.
affects the way we think about it a lot more than I think we consciously
Yeah,
acknowledge. So it's come out at an awesome season for me that I'm probably going to remember this album fondly for a long time,
yep,
thankfully. But yeah, I would say top. They've got. Is this technically their 14th album if you include the Christmas
yeah,
album? I would say it's top 4
yep,
probably.
yep. That's good.
But yeah,
Love
what
it.
about you?
Um, this album made me want to start a podcast, so I feel like it has to it has to be up there somewhere.
It's got some power.
It's got
It's
some
got some
power.
power.
Um, like literally, like I all I've wanted to do for 2 weeks straight is listen to this album, and I found all different ways to do it. To listen to it through the vinyl, through in the car, through the live stream. Like when I'm not listening to this album, all I want to do is listen to this album. And I haven't had that experience. Um, I would say Breach 21 Pilots was like the last time that happened for me, like
Mm,
almost a year ago now, I guess, which is crazy. Um, where I just
good
like
record.
I want to live in this. This is all I want to listen
Mhm.
to. I feel like I could listen to this forever now, and it wouldn't get old. And
Forever Now.
um, and so this is definitely like top tier. I've been wrestling with what albums go in that tier. I think Beautiful Letdown for me has a little bit more like I like those songs, but as an album, I don't know if it is like number one for me, if that makes sense. Um, Whereas like Hello Hurricane is definitely like one of the first that pops to mind.
Mhm.
Nothing is Sound has grown on me a lot over the years. And is obviously one that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
And Where the Light
I
Shines Through
remember
is kind of like my like high school nostalgia. Like I like a lot more of
yeah.
those songs I think than most people do. Um, Celebrating 10
I
years
think
this year
that one
too.
was
So
special to me because despite growing up listening to Switchfoot, I never got to see Switchfoot live
yes, that
until I was able to buy my own ticket and drive myself to the
yes.
show.
Where
So I saw them on that tour for the first time,
yep,
which
same
with Reliant K
same.
couldn't have been better.
Yep. Um, Same exact experience for me. Probably I the first CD I bought with my own money was probably that one. Um, that summer, get this, that summer we had Air for Free, we had Where the Light Shines Through, and we had Hard Love, Need to Breathe, I think.
We were eating good, man.
That's a crazy that golly. So I had all those
We need
CDs.
Reliant K to come back out of the
We
basement
do.
and make
We really
something.
do. And Air for Free, unrelated, but misunderstood masterpiece in my opinion.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and so like I bought all those CDs, had them in my car, wore them out, saw Switchfoot and Reliant K on tour together. I saw Tour de Compadres with Need to
Mm.
Breathe and Switchfoot the year before that. But then Need to
Was
Breathe did it
Colony
again.
House on that tour?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, okay. I didn't see that one, but I know that's like
Oh,
an
all
all-timer.
timer. And so that's just a very special season in my
Mhm,
in
mhm.
my life. So that's where I get the Where the Light Shines Through nostalgia too. But Forever Now is certainly up there.
Yeah.
I think this is I've been in my mind. I don't know if you're a big Foo Fighters guy at all. Um,
I don't know a whole lot of their
yeah.
stuff.
So they
I
came
mean
out with this album in 2011 called Wasting Light. That was kind of their they've been a band for 20 years and they put out this album and it was like, oh, they can still make a good album. And so it feels like that for Switchfoot in the sense that people are rallying around them again. It feels like it's breaking
Yeah.
through a little bit more than their past albums have. Yeah, just really excited for them. I think they seem to be really excited about this record. Which is awesome to see, and I'm excited to see them tour it. I'm going to see them in DC in October, and I'm just really excited to see some of these songs live. My hope is that it opens. This kind of leads us into one of these categories. My hope is that it opens with "Wake Up, Mr. Crow," into "Absolution," into "Stars." Is like the three. Like I hope that that's
That sounds perfect to me.
the trajectory it
Yeah.
goes. But just
To
rapid
what you
fire. Go
said
ahead.
earlier about sorry.
No, go ahead.
To
You're
what
good.
you said earlier about you're obsessed with, like, album openers, in a similar sense, I'm obsessed with show openers.
Yes.
And my same thought was, I think, yeah, yes, I hope they open with "Wake Up, Mr. Crow," and I also, like, wonder slash kinda hope that they, like, pull out a little bit more of the stops for it because they played it live,
Yep.
at, like, festivals and stuff, very bare bones. I would love to see really, like, I would love to see them, like, even pull out, like, an LED wall or,
Yeah.
like, some cool stage pieces to make it feel a little bit more dramatic than how they've played it throughout the
Yeah, to be
summer.
honest, I kind of hope the set is the Forever Now box.
That would be
Like
incredible.
that's kind of what I hope
So
the tour set looks like.
So
Um,
I think that's one of the things I'm most anxious to see is because I feel like they've really put a whole lot into, like you said, the music videos with that box.
yep.
I didn't get to make it to the Bro Am this year, but they had that box
We could
set
go
up
listen
at
to
the
it.
Bro Am
Yeah,
on the beach,
yeah,
which is so cool. I'm so mad I didn't get to go. But it's okay. It was good reason we had to miss. But so that's something I'm really anxious to see is are they gonna pull out all the stops for the tour? Because even like the packaging, the record,
yeah.
like the fold out poster,
The
the
newspaper,
lyric sheet is the newspaper cover. Like I
crazy,
thought that was so cool.
so
So
cool.
they really put a lot of thought into it. I'm anxious to see, and I'm hopeful that at least for like the opener and for maybe a couple other moments that they will do some clever stuff live. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. No, I'm really excited about it. Okay, rapid fire categories. We're gonna take like maybe 30 seconds on each one of these, and we're gonna knock them out here. All right, the song you want to see live the most slash. Okay, ready? Slash the song you hope in 10 years from now, okay? You go to see Switchfoot 10 years from now in 2036, the song from this album that you hope they're still playing live.
Oh, wow. That's a huge question. And I think my answer is probably different for those two
Uh-huh.
questions. Um, I'm definitely gonna say the Butterfly Effect. I hope to see live.
Yes. It
I think they
better be the
will.
closer before the encore.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely, and,
Yes.
yes. So, same exact thought, same reason, that's what I want to happen, and, yeah, I yeah, it's the perfect segue into where I belong
Yes.
too,
Uh-huh.
even if there's, I don't know, a song between that and an encore or something, but yes, definitely wanna see the Butterfly Effect. Long term? Ooh, that's crazy thing to
Yeah, I know.
ask.
Well, the reason I didn't even think of that till this morning after I watched the Caves thing
Phew.
last night, and in the Cave show, you were there, so you know this. They played some stuff off Nothing Is Sound that I hadn't heard them play in a long time.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
and so I was like, oh man, what would the song be from this album that like if they played it
yeah.
10 years from now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I I think I'm gonna go with "You Forgot Who You Are."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I see that being a song they play live a whole lot,
Yep.
so I feel like that one, it might be a rarity. So 10 years from now, it'd be really cool. Bring that song back out, be like, "Oh man, I love this song so much."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
that'd be
that's
cool.
good. I think I'm between natural causes and on the 10-year question. Um, Natural causes or wake up, Mr. Crow, I think are like the
Mm,
two that I'm like 10 years from now, it'd be cool like if they're still doing those songs.
yeah.
Um, the song I want to hear most live in October um is probably Shake the Dust, probably, or Absolution. Either one of those two. Very excited
Honestly, I
about.
could see both of those really, but "Shake the Dust," I could see that being a song that, like, really becomes a staple.
Yeah.
'Cause like "House Burns Down Tonight" from Where the Light
Oh,
Shines Through, that's still a song that they play a lot.
yes, it's a great
Um,
song live. I mean, it's a great
it
song on the
is, yeah.
record, but it's
Yeah, it's one of those that it's like I wouldn't have probably guessed that that one would have as much longevity, in their set tenure as it did, but
yep,
it always works. So I think I could see "Shake the Dust" really probably being like a they bring that one out
yep.
often, probably just because it's fun to play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it definitely is. All right. So that was a song you want to see live. Okay, one cut. If you have to cut one song from the album, which one is it and why?
Um, it's breaks my heart to say this, but I'm gonna say "Breaking Up Again."
Okay, I was gonna say that's probably it, but if you had to pick a different song than the 90-second one,
Oh, man, you took away my easy
I
answer.
know. I'm gonna make it
Not that it's
hard.
not such a good song,
Yeah.
but like you said, it's kinda like an interlude, so
Yes.
it just felt like the easy answer. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm looking at the track list right now, and, I know that if I listen back to this episode in 2 weeks, I'm gonna offend myself.
Sure.
Um, I'm gonna say "Same Blood,"
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Um. So as I said already, Two Twins is my skip, which you might think, Zach. Okay, well then that would be your cut. It's essential to the album. Like in
Okay.
the
I
themes and
appreciate that
in
perspective.
I think it's instantly become a like because John played it solo, like live, and now it's on here. I think it's essential. I don't think you can cut it, so I would cut Ride or Die. I think is where
Okay,
I was
okay.
between Ride or Die or Same Blood, so I'm gonna go Ride or Die just to shake it up a little bit.
Watch me in 2 weeks text you, be like, "Nah, man, Same Blood's my favorite
Yeah.
Switchfoot song of all
And
time."
that's just what's great about albums and Switchfoot, and there's
Yeah.
songs that come and stay, and songs you didn't think would have a lot of longevity and do end up.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
do you have a favorite lyric? Something that's been sticking with you?
Um, as simple as it sounds, I think I mentioned this earlier, but from the darkness, just how the odyssey that keeps me up at
Yeah.
night, that keeps looping in my head. That's a big one. I love just the start of the chorus on "You Forgot Who You Are." You were
Mm-hmm.
made in the
Yep.
image of the one who loves you.
Yep.
the Christian kid in me thinks that's an awesome thing to
Yes.
get in a song.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, there's a lot on darkness that I feel like I
Yeah.
could gravitate towards. We've shared a bunch of those already of that moment, the like a candle, like a prayer.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Come meet me in the darkness is really great. Um, Even though the butterfly effect is very on the nose, um, there's a lot there that I
Oh yeah.
uh, really enjoy um, lyrically. Um,
More of that kind of like spoken word stuff
yeah,
almost, which
yeah,
is really cool to hear John Foreman do.
yeah. And I just really love "Shake the Dust" as both a lyric and a concept. Like I just think it's a
Yeah.
really cool image,
Yeah.
um, and yeah. So those are a few. I know we've mentioned a bunch of lyrics throughout here too. All right, kind of last category. Peak John Foreman. Okay, so this category is coming from a podcast called Every Single Album, and they in their Taylor Swift series, they had this moment where it's like peak Taylor Swift, where
Yeah.
like John Foreman is John Foremaning the most
Yeah.
on this record. Do you have one instant? I've got mine, and it's kind of funny and quirky, of course. My peak John Foreman moment is on the live stream when he switches the lyrics and butterfly effect in the towards the end where he says watch
Outside my biography.
outside my biography, watching my biology. Yeah, that is like my peak. That's my peak John Foreman
Yeah.
moment.
I love when he does that, dude. It's so funny. I have stories about that. Maybe I'll say for another time,
Yeah,
but from the Looking for America tour, a really like a story that I think back on fondly of him doing that. He did it on the second live stream that they did um this week with
where the
Beautiful
light shines
Life.
through. 10 year, was that the 10 year? Yeah,
Yes. I can't remember exactly how he switched him up, but I think he said, um, I've been s he said, "I've been sinking in my doubt, and I've been swimming in a crowd."
yeah,
That was really funny.
yeah.
I don't know. But yes, that's a good moment. Did you have one from
From the
the
actual
record
recording.
from the album? Yeah.
Um, hmm. It's easy to say two twins, I think, because just as a song, just because that felt like a John Foreman like solo thing, and obviously like at the In Bloom show, like he played it solo, and
Yeah.
like so it feels like two twins is kind of like the easy answer to this question, um, just because it is like it is kind of his song, so like yeah, peak John Foreman,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know, what do you got?
My moment is actually from Broken Wings. I said I was gonna come back to it later,
Yep,
but the second verse.
mm.
Coming up from the ocean floor. Whoa, whoa,
Yeah, the
whoa.
whoa whoa
I'm a wave
whoas,
crashing onto
yeah,
your shore. The whoa, so the woes and the references to the ocean.
yep,
Is that the only lines in this album that mentions the ocean?
no
Am
way,
I forgetting something
no
else?
way,
Um, it's one of few, if not the only one. Which of course, the Switchfoot, the surf band that they are. Um, and me, the landlocked Kentucky kid who's obsessed with
yeah,
surfing in the ocean for some stupid reason. Um, Switchfoot probably has a lot more to do with that than I realized, but I think just, you knew he had to say something about the ocean. Ocean floor rhyming with shore. It was so easy. It
yeah,
was right there. Almost to the point where it sounds cliche,
yeah.
but I was like, yeah, no, that's Pete John Foreman.
Yeah, I would say another one that popped to mind is just like this is probably more of a Switchfoot thing than a John thing, but just how many times that love is the ultimate thing. Like obviously,
Yeah.
like that's been a theme
Love will
throughout.
conquer all.
Yeah, love will
Only
conquer
love
all.
outlasts the living.
Yep. I think Beautiful
Yeah.
Life has something about that too. I can't remember. Um, and
Natural Causes does too, I
yep,
think. Yeah.
yep. So yeah, there's a
So
lot
yeah.
of um
Major theme
major
that
theme.
love alone is worth the fight.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, any final
My
thoughts on
honorable
the oh, go
mention,
for it.
I filed for divorce with myself the other day.
Yeah,
That feels like a real job
Only
for
one
anything to
half
say.
saw it coming. Yeah.
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 And the flip side of faith is doubt.
Yeah.
That's classic. Yeah. No, final thoughts. I will throw this out here. Another song that he mentioned, like months before this record came to us. He said there was a song on the album called "Lost and Found,"
Mm.
and I think he had said that that was the last song on the record, which obviously we know that as it stands, that song is not on the record.
Yep.
I'm glad because, like you said, the butterfly effect is the perfect ending to this album. But it does make me wonder, will there be like a deluxe version where they drop some B-sides or something, or maybe they'll save that song.
And
So I'm
there's
curious
always
to
one
know
B
what
side.
yeah,
There's always one B
yeah,
side they
what
put out that's like, man, how did this not? Thinking of Where the Light Shines Through. When Was the Last Time didn't make the record, and I was like, that's a
mhm.
great song.
And Begin
Yeah.
Forever, which fits within theme, the forever now thing,
Yeah.
it's never too late to begin forever.
Yep.
Feels very so yeah. I feel that way about Interrobang too. Um, I can't I'm gonna save that thought because I'm gonna see if I can convince you to do a whole episode where we
Dude,
talk about
I would
Interrobang.
talk about Interrobang for 2 hours with you. That's great. That
So
sounds like
I
a
have
great
some
time to me.
thoughts about the Interrobang B-sides, so
So
let's make it happen.
episode two will be an Interrobang deep dive.
Let's
For
go.
the real Switchfoot heads, for real friends of the foot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man.
yeah, that's great.
You gotta be a real one to get in the door.
Yeah. My caption for my monthly recap on Instagram that I post like at the end of a month, I'll post a bunch of photo dumps or whatever.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
caption this month was the new Switchfoot album changed my life. Um, and so yeah, I am grateful for this record in the ways that it helped me in my own
Mhm.
walk with Christ and with God and like
Yeah, yeah,
wrestling through my own um anxieties and insecurities about death and like all sorts. It really like put that like front and center in a way that didn't make me feel more anxious but actually made me feel more free, which is like
yeah,
a really like hard line to walk when you're talking about death and like something that's like really heavy like that.
yeah,
um
for sure.
so really grateful for this record. It, even though this is their first album in like 5 years, um I didn't feel like Switchfoot was absent in the 5 years. Like
Mhm.
between the
They've been busy.
re-recordings and the Jonas Brother appearances and like all
The
sorts of
Christmas
Christmas
album,
album.
I have a soft spot for the Christmas album.
Same, yep. Um, and so there's they it didn't feel like they disappeared, but it was nice to have new Switchfoot music
Yeah, yeah.
grace the ears and the soul.
Because it's been a minute
Been a minute.
since we've had new Switchfoot music.
It's been a minute. So,
Yeah,
thanks for being willing to talk for 2 hours.
anytime.
We we'll do an Interrobang 2 hour deep dive here soon for the real ones that are interested in that. But
Yeah.
um
I know we said maybe this is just a one-off
we'll
thing,
see.
just to talk about it. After this, it was so much fun.
We'll see.
We might have to do this
We'll
more.
see.
Let's see.
I got somebody as of the time of this recording, got somebody working on some art for us for when we upload this, so this will be cool.
Let's
We did it on video,
go.
so we'll see if we can get it to YouTube or whatever, and figure out the best platform for it or whatever. So if you like talking about Switchfoot and like deep dives of this level, stick around. I think we're gonna do at least one more and see, just kind of go from there. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with Chase and myself. My name's Zach. Been good to hang out with you. And yeah, any departing, you want to do another Wake Up, Mr. Crow, to close us out?
Wake up, Mr. Crow!
Perfect. I love it. See y'all. Thanks for listening.